Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Oh, yeah. All of our guests today, including Ross Tucker, standing by, brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort, located oceanside in beautiful Parksville. The Bayside Resort is one of Vancouver Island's premier spots to get away, unwind, and recharge with the locally inspired menu in their breathtaking restaurant. Their panoramic ocean view guest rooms and on-site pool and fitness center, the Bayside Resort, is your one-stop shop for relaxation. Book your island getaway today at BaysideOceanfrontResort.com. As we're joined now by Ross Tucker of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast and Westwood One. How are you, sir?
I'm doing awesome. How are you guys doing?
Very well, very well. Hey, I think I know the answer to this, but I'll ask it anyway. We do that a lot around here. Georgia beats Alabama in the national championship game. National championship game versus Army versus Navy. What would you rather see live?
Ooh. That's a good question. I would say Army versus Navy. I will say this, though. I was once on the sideline 2019, I think, maybe 2018, for the SEC championship game when it was Georgia-Alabama, the year after they had faced off for the national championship, and that was an intense atmosphere. I mean, that was an environment. It really depends, I think, Donnie, on who is actually in the national championship game, who the two teams are, because when it's Alabama, Georgia, it takes it to a whole other level. But I'm gonna answer your question with a question back to you guys, because I really don't know the answer to this. Like, I know people in Canada, Canadians, I know you guys are into the NFL and you watch it.
Yeah.
I get that. Are Canadians into college football or much less so than the NFL?
I would say they're into college football, but much less than the NFL. Much less than the NFL. NFL's big here. That's why you're on the show.
Yeah.
I thought it was just because Rick liked me so much.
That's it.
No.
That's the other reason.
No. Hey, I know you did the game for Westwood 1. What was your reaction when Brandon Staley called the timeout on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the guys on TV said. I guess they were kind of incredulous about it. Didn't really bother me. I was actually a little bit surprised that he didn't call one earlier, but it's a truly unique situation, right? Nobody had ever been in that before that I can remember, that on the one hand, you want to call timeout because you want to maybe get the ball back and have a chance to kick your own field goal if their guy misses it and you get a chance to win the game. On the other hand, though, you know, if both teams tie, you're both going to the playoffs. So I don't know that there's a right or a wrong answer. The thing I don't agree with that people are saying is that the Raiders were going to take a knee. They were not going to take a knee. They were like in a 3-receiver set in the shotgun. They were going to hand the ball off, and perhaps based on what happened on that run, maybe just let the clock go out. You know, if he lost a couple yards and it's a 60-yard field goal, I don't think the Raiders would have tried that with the chance to have, you know, the kick get blocked or a kick six where the guy returns it. But when he called the timeout to set the defense to try to not let him get a closer field goal, it backfired because the Raiders ended up getting more yards and getting a closer field goal. So I don't have nearly as much of a problem with it as other people seem to.
Ross, let's look at some of the playoff games coming up. Bills and Patriots, they're looking at snow, cold weather. This is going to be the third time they're playing each other in 7 weeks. Set that one up. Who do you like?
Well, first of all, I'll be there, Rick.
Oh,
so
wow,
I literally just saw before we started talking the weather. Not cool. Not cool at all. Now, thankfully, I'll be in the booth, and Steve Tasker will be on the sideline. But it's still cold in the booth. You got the windows open. I mean, it's open air. It's cold. That game is going to be awesome. I'll say this, though. I am not a fan of first-round playoff matchups between divisional opponents. Yeah. Monday night, I'm going to be on the sideline in L.A. for the Rams and the Cardinals. Another one of these. I just don't like it, right? Like, I think that, there's nothing they can do about it. It is what it is. But I would prefer if teams from opposite divisions faced each other. Because you know what? Maybe the Cardinals and the Niners and Rams should all win. Maybe 3 of the Final 4 in the NFC should be those teams. Or maybe that. I just don't like it that there's that level of familiarity. I guess the flip side is at least one of them gets to move on. I like the Buffalo Bills. However, they're not very good unless Josh Allen plays lights out. And I'll be curious. The worse the weather is, the worse it is for the Bills. Because we saw that from the first matchup in these two teams, right? Clearly, Buffalo throws the ball better than the Patriots do. So they want the better conditions, the better.
Ross, let's talk about the Cardinals and the Rams. When they played each other twice this year, 55 points per game. Does that change? Things tighten up in the playoffs, or do you still expect high scoring between these two?
So, Rick, I got to talk to you, buddy. So I just told you I'm doing the Cardinals and the Rams.
Yes.
I feel like you could have had a better transition there than, hey, Ross, let's talk about the Rams and the Cardinals. Hey, Rick,
but you didn't talk about them, Ross.
Give it to him, Ross.
You didn't talk about them, Ross.
I already was talking about the Rams and the Cardinals. Do you have it written out? Does Donnie or Ryan write out your questions?
I write my questions out.
Per game, like the one football stat you've ever looked up.
Listen to me.
You're like, here's my impression of you, Rick. I just talked about how I'm going to be on the sideline.
What has the sidelines got to do?
It's like, Rick, it's like you weren't even listening to what I was saying. And then Rick goes, hey, Ross, let's talk about the Cardinals and the Rams. These teams have 55 points. I mean, Rick, I try to give you the benefit of the doubt, but you don't even let me. That was terrible.
Yeah,
Donnie, what's your question? Move on. Move on.
I want to see Rick follow this up. I think that'd be awesome.
Donnie, go. Donnie, go.
Okay, how about this? How do you explain the Colts' demise in Jacksonville?
Oh, man. You know what? We talked about this a little bit last week. I've seen these situations, Donnie. I've seen it, man. Like the team that has everything at stake, they get a little bit tight. They kind of feel the pressure a little bit, especially the longer the game goes. Whereas the team with quote-unquote nothing to play for, there's no such thing, they go out there and they just play careless and free and have fun and they ball out. That's exactly what happened. What stuns me isn't the 3 Carson Wentz turnovers, because I've seen enough Carson Wentz to know he's very capable of 3 Carson Wentz turnovers. What stuns me is the Jaguars won the battle up front. The Jaguars were the better team up front on both sides of the ball. That is what surprises me.
Okay, Ross, Brian Flores, Mike Zimmer, Matt Nagy, Vic Fangio, all out of work. Is there one firing you disagreed with on Black Monday? Actually, Fangio was before Black Monday.
Yeah. Honestly, there's a couple. I mean, I understand firing Vic Fangio, but the guy is like the best defensive mind in the NFL. That's a big risk to get rid of him. And by the way, how about giving him a quarterback? I mean, he's a coach there for 3 years. Who were his quarterbacks? Joe Flacco, Drew Lock, and Teddy Bridgewater? He went like 500 with those guys? I don't know. It sounds about right to me. And then the Flores one is just stunning. I guess I've been reading that there was a power struggle between Flores and the general manager, Chris Greer, which, by the way, is a shame. It's like, figure it out, guys, number one. But number two, you know who wins power struggles? I don't know what it's like in the NHL, but in the NFL, you know who wins the power struggle? The dude that sits next to the owner during the game. Not the head coach. It's the guy that's sitting next to the owner while the game's going on, being like, yeah, that's a great player I got for you. I don't know what the coach is doing there. Yeah, I mean, that's how it works.
Do you do predictions on this early on the Super Bowl? It's almost like a Dollywall. It's almost like a Dollywall-like question here. But I'm going to take a chance.
I can give you a prediction. However, I just want to state for the record, I think this is your 3rd question in a row. Has Rick given up?
He's on the verge of leaving the studio.
White flag. Hold on a sec. Here's the white flag right here. Yeah, I've given up.
Don't
I've
wave
given
that
up.
too far, Rick, because if it falls out of your hand, you won't know what to ask me.
I'm waving the white flag. I'm waving the white. Ross, you have defeated me today.
Rick, let's talk about the question that Donnie just asked, and that was
early Super Bowl finalists. How about that?
Yeah, no, honestly, I feel pretty strongly Packers and Chiefs. I really do. And then one of them might lose. Neither one of them's a dominant team, but that is certainly where I would put my money, like I do on the Even Money podcast. It would be the Packers and the Chiefs.
We've got an hour and a half left in this show. I hope Dollywall recovers from this. Thanks, Ross.
May not.
As long as it's in his note. The beauty of it is it was so clear that he didn't listen to what I said.
I did listen to you
at all.
No, but you saying,
take a knee,
but Ross, you saying you're on the sidelines of the Rams at 40 or whatever the Rams. That doesn't mean I can't ask a question about that game, Ross.
You can ask a question, Rick, but you should relate it to what I was just saying.
All you said you were is you're going to be on the sidelines.
Like some new topic.
Anyways. Have a nice day.
Broadcasting 101. He's still going to join us next week. Don't worry.
All right.
Thanks, Ross.
See you guys.
You okay?
I may not recover for that. But listen, here's what you do when adversity hits. You bounce back. I'll bounce back.
Well, we'll see if you do. Ross Tucker of Westwood One and the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. He mentioned Chris Greer there from the Miami Dolphins, brother of former NHLer Mike Greer.
Mike Greer. Is it the brother or the father? I think it's father's. Okay.
I don't trust anything you say after that, okay? We'll research it and be
was fine.
sure.
My question was fine.
Okay.
All he does is he rips me all the time.
Okay. Our thanks to Ross Tucker in so many ways. Donnie and Dolly, the team, on check.